What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee&Toys here, bringing you another G.I. Joe Classified Series unboxing and review. Alright, we're going to go slithering through the jungle today to that one driver who loves riding on the Cobra Moccasin and wearing green spandex. Of course, that can only mean Copperhead. Let's talk about it. So, Copperhead. Copperhead's another figure I didn't have as a child, had him in my adult life. Always liked him in the cartoon. I always kind of thought of him as the bridge between Cobra and the Dreadnoughts. He was always hanging out in the swamps. He kind of had that, southern Louisiana style accent, and he just was a big, buff, mean-looking dude in the cartoon, and also in the figure. And I do wish that this one, now I haven't opened it yet, but I don't believe the helmet comes off. I was always a big fan of the G.I. Joe Collectors Club version of Copperhead. I believe that one did have a removable helmet. I'll throw a picture up proving whether I'm right or wrong. But I do remember having that one, thinking that one was really cool. I think it was Copperhead. Like I said, I'll look it up. But yeah, I am looking forward to this figure. This is one of those times where I've purchased the OG version of the figure and then found out afterwards that we're getting the Python Patrol version, which I should have assumed, which means I wouldn't have gotten this one because I tried to do sub-teams. But I'm okay with that. I'll check it out and I'll do a comparison once the Python Patrol version comes out. But enough of me talking. Let's go look at the figure. So here we have it. We have G.I. Joe Classified Series Copperhead. He is number 72 in the series and has just some insane eyes on this artwork. I love this artwork on the package. I mean, that is a crazy dude right there. That guy is, I would not want to meet him in the jungle at any time. Of course, we have that same artwork here, and we have the very cool render of the figure with the background, which looks like Montezuma's tomb. Could I be right? Could I be wrong? Drop a comment, let me know. But I love how they've been doing that. Obviously, ages 4+, G.I. Joe logo, Cobra logo. Number 72 in the series. Of course, I will pull this in a little bit so you can see the... Actually, these are on the back, so I'll show you the bigger version on the back. So let's flip over here and see what we got. He stands 6.4 inches tall, so he is a larger figure. It'll be interesting to see how he scales with Sergeant Slaughter. Comes with a few weapons, a holster, some cool tattoo on his arm, it looks like, and the backpack, of course, plugs into his back. So for you guys keeping track at home, there is the... what he is proficient in, so I will make sure to put those on the screen so you can take a quick look at that. And yeah, once again, that crazy-eyed painting, or artwork rather. So there's what it is in the box. Let's see him out of the box. Okay, here we have it. We have Copperhead out of the package, and yeah, I think the first thing I noticed was outside the web gear kind of being a little wonky on him. Not sure if I need to correct. A lot of the web gear is hanging off the figure. For example, this one on the elbow that I'm fighting right now needs to be up on the forearm more. So not a big deal. We just push it up there, get it on the forearm again. And this one was actually off in the package. It had fallen off completely. And so I just pushed it back up, his holster on his right leg. Of course, he does have those crazy psycho eyes going on. So very cool. Of course, the helmet is not removable, unfortunately, but that's okay. Not a deal breaker. The original figure didn't have a removable helmet either. Yeah, this web gear though is a little off, more than my liking. So let me see if I can just kind of squeeze it where it should be. Okay, that's a little better. So, of course, he has a cool skull logo for his belt. Everything's pinless, including the elbows and knees. Otherwise, he's got the typical classified articulation. I'm not going to go into that. We're going to look more how this guy just aesthetically pleases one's eye or doesn't. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Nothing crazy. He is a bigger figure. He's a little skinnier than I thought he'd be. So joints are very tight. So yeah, of course, he does have a tattoo on his arm. I'll try to get a picture of that so you can see just what that looks like. It is a ace of diamonds. Hard to tell, really. Let's zoom in and find out. Ace of diamonds, can't miss. Not sure what that reference is. If you know, please drop a comment below and tell me what that reference is. But yeah, this web gear keeps sliding off his body. It's not where I'd like it to be. But that's okay. So he does have the butterfly swivel cut right there, so that's very nice. It's kind of hidden by this, so that works out very well. But let's stand him up here for a moment. I've got him in a weird position right now. Kind of make him a little more natural standing. And yeah, so pull this back a little bit. So yeah, he does come with a few accessories. He does come with a machete, so that is very cool. Just simple black with gray for the blade. Nothing too fancy, but then again, doesn't really need to be. He comes with a pistol, a smaller gun. Looks like a Luger P08 to me, but I am, I'm not a gun expert, but it certainly does look like that. Or at least inspired by, maybe that's the better word. So that is a smaller gun that can go... Stupid camera is not focusing today. It can go in this holster right here. Actually, I think that's where the machete goes. So this is where the Luger can go. This guy comes, he likes his guns. But of course he does come with this this small backpack, which will peg into his back just like that. And I like that they gave us the extra detail of putting some extra bullets on the back of it, because what goes inside that backpack is this insane Dirty Harry style Magnum with a big old scope on it. I mean, this thing is crazy. Yeah, very, very crazy gun you got here. Now, neither gun has any hole in it so you can put a blast effect. These are kind of smaller guns without that built in. So that's kind of a small little nitpick. I also wish the scope was removable. I kind of wish this gun had been completely retooled. I mean, I know it's the first time I think it's been used, but I wish it was more like the other guns that they're providing to the classified figures that you could put blast effects on and whatnot. Like with the Viper 3-pack, you could use the smoke come out of the muzzle and stuff like that. But it is what it is. So, just looking at it, it almost looks like the scope's backwards. I know it's not, but just seems like it's flipped to me. But again, I'm not a gun expert. So, there we go. Let me get some focus back on Copperhead here. And let me get him all accessorized. I'll bring in some couple figures for comparison. And yeah, we'll get some final thoughts on this guy. Okay, as you can see, I've got Copperhead accessorized. And yeah, looks very well. As always, all the accessories fit onto him. That's very well. You can see the gun is in the Luger is in his right hip holster. The big old Magnum is in his right hand because that is the trigger finger hand on this figure. The machete is in the machete's place on his left hip. And of course, that is where you can put the gun in on the back. I just didn't bother to push that down and peg it in. But looks very good. I am liking the way this come together on this figure. Now, like I said, I would do a couple comparisons so you could see how he looked compared to a couple other figures. So first, let's put old Ugly Boy Falcon in here. And you can see how they stand up comparatively. And I'm knocking stuff over left and right. So I'm going to stand them against the wall because I just don't have time to. I took them off the stands that they were normally on. But you can kind of compare them. In this particular instance, they look to be about the same height, but I do know that that beret adds quite a bit of height to Falcon. And then, of course, we've got Sergeant Slaughter, who surprisingly towers over Copperhead. I thought Copperhead was bigger. But as you can clearly see, he is not as big. He is more of a standard. He's a little bit taller than Falcon, but not as tall as Sergeant Slaughter. So I suppose that's a good way. I just thought he was a lot bigger. So he must just be more muscular and not necessarily a taller figure. But yeah, so there's the nice comparison of the three. So you can get an idea of what your favorite moccasin driver is going to look like when he stands up against some of the other Joes. But yeah, final thoughts on this figure. Great figure. I wish I had known about the Python Patrol and coming out sooner than later. I would have waited for that one. But if you prefer, like most people do, if you prefer getting the original versions of a character, I definitely say this is a guy that's worth picking up. I have seen him all over Target recently. Every Target I've went into has had Copperhead. So I've went to about 3 Targets over the last week. Every Target has had this Copperhead. it looks like they're getting them by the cases. So whenever they get a case of figures, they're getting like all of one character. So you shouldn't have a problem finding this at retail. You can pre-order it now on Hasbro Pulse's website. You can pre-order it on Target, through their website, through Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, all your favorites. But let me know what you think of this figure. Tell me what you think of this review. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you like the video if you've made it this far, because it helps out the channel a lot. Otherwise, I'm Mark. This is Coffee with Toys, and I'll see you later.